Hey everybody, I'm David with Bolivar Live. Well, welcome to another Real Estate Talk with Beth, where every Monday at 10:30 we talk real estate here on the Upper Texas Coast, Bolivar Peninsula. It's just Bolivar, it's just real estate, not Southeast Texas, not Galveston, Bolivar Peninsula. And it's the first of the month, well actually a little bit past.
It's a little past. We had a good
but
holiday.
We had a holiday in there. Beth was out of town. And so, but like always, the first of the month, we're going to give you the market report.
Market report, you ready?
Let's see where we stand.
Okay, let's see if I can click it.
Click it. There we
go.
go.
There's me. It's the August market report.
August market report.
Okay, so the average sold price for a house this past month was $439,180, and that number went down 34%.
That's a lot.
It was a lot. But let me show you something, David.
I was going to say,
there's
why?
good news. The average sold price was $388. So that number
Let's see.
It went up.
Up 0.9%.
0.9%. So it did. It went up a little bit, which is good news for the sellers out there. The prices they're kind of leveling out finally, and I'm glad to see that. And you're going to be surprised when we go through the slides today.
But it still comes back to you have to buy at the right price. But when you list it, and this is where you come in and you do some extensive research,
right,
you have to list it at the right price.
Right.
Because you and I just talked about some homes on the market, and I said something about beachfront, and you said, yeah, but they've been on the market for a while, so is that because of the home price, or are they priced wrong?
Well,
and I've seen a lot, because I go through the listings. There's a lot of houses down here
there's
that
a
they're
lot
just
of houses
flipping
on
a
the
quarter.
market. Well, yeah, but when you compare a lot of those houses to what's on the market or has sold, they may not be priced that far off.
That far off?
Yeah, it's just the market. You got to find the right.
We need to get the market down.
Well, yeah, if it's going to sell, that process.
I'm going to make a prediction.
Okay, here we go.
The first quarter of 2024. I've told you this for how long? I think the prices are going to drop.
I don't know.
And I'm not a realtor, and I don't research. And I mean, Beth calls me weekly, 2 or 3 times a week sometimes, talking about pricing and what's out there. But it's just a gut feeling I'm getting. And plus, trust me, still got plenty of gut.
Oh my gosh.
Because I think what's going to happen is I think all these people that bought in 2021, 2020, mainly 2022, are going to say, man, the pandemic's over. We're not using it. They bought high, and they're going to dump their house.
Or maybe they didn't buy high. Maybe they bought before the frenzy happened.
But
and
they're not
they just
using
decided they're not using it.
Because look at how many years from when the pandemic started and it all started. I mean, people down here typically keep a house, 5 to 7 years?
I don't think it's that long here. I don't think the life expectancy is that long.
And so even if it's 3 years, we're at that 3-year mark.
Yeah.
And so, kids grow up. If it's a grandparents that own the house, they want to be closer to the grandkids so they can watch them play soccer.
Watch them play
and
soccer
baseball.
on Saturday mornings. That's
right. So, okay.
Okay.
So we
got your prediction. We're going to watch that.
But don't hold me on it.
Oh, I'm going to hold you. Well, I mean, it doesn't matter.
Up 9%.
Yeah, it went up 9%, and that's compared to July. Okay. Okay. Then there's 291 active homes in MLS right now.
That's down.
It's down.
From last month.
It went down a little bit.
297, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, it's down 0.001%. I could have had it as equal, but I wanted to show people that it did go down a little bit, which is good. That's great.
So that's half a house.
Yeah. The average price for homes that are currently on the market is $400,000.
Okay, and the sale price was what,
$388.
88? Okay.
Right.
So you've got $22 a square foot to play with.
So that number, it was the same last month. So we're not really seeing the numbers come down for houses on the market, but we're still seeing a high number of houses on the market. Right. So that number probably needs to come down a little bit more to kind of move those houses off the active list.
Okay.
We have a 10-month supply of houses.
That's a lot.
Last month we were at 14.
But it's still, and I guess you look back, I'm used to the last 3 years
Oh,
where
yeah.
house was on the market 24 hours and it
Yeah.
was sold. And, you know, that was mainly the last 6 months of last year probably, or last year, but that's still a lot of houses.
It's a lot of houses, and, you know, if we didn't sell them and they're not on the market anymore, then what happened to them? Well, they either expired or terminated or something like that.
So you can honestly say it's a buyer's market.
I can still say it's a buyer's market. When
we argued about that for the last 6 months whenever I thought it was, but she said it's not by the numbers.
But according to the numbers, when we get down to the 6-month range, that's when we call it a stable market. When we go below that 6-month range, then we're in a seller's market, and things will start changing then. But we're not there.
Right.
Oh,
Click it.
I'm clicking. The average number of days that houses are sitting on the market is 139, and that number is up. And that was sold.
It was about 90 days, if I'm not mistaken,
Yeah.
97 or something like that last month.
Yeah. So this is sold houses. This is the ones that made it through that finish line. You know, I'm competitive.
Paper signed.
The paper sign. Yeah. We won't talk about anybody singing. We had 19 houses go under contract this past month, and that number went down too. We had 38 houses terminate, expire, or withdraw, and that number did go up. Yeah, I don't have it.
That's a lot.
Yeah, that was a lot.
But a lot of people like this time of year. You know, they made their money in the summer and they figured, well, we'll sell it, and then they decided, oh man, fall's right around the corner.
I love October. Yes.
And it's just, even though we haven't had a front, we haven't had rain, it's coming.
Yeah. And this is the best time, I think, to be here. You know, it's not as crowded. It's quiet. The weather starts to get a little bit more peaceful. Okay, so this is the breakdown of what did sell and where they're at. So we had 2 beachfront houses that sold with an average of $480 a foot. We had 2 first and second row that sold for $448. These numbers are more in line, don't you think? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Third and back, there were 12 with the average of $358, and the bayside 13 with the average of $389. A lot of those are still the villas at Rollover Bay that are showing up in there, and that's why that number is a little higher. But we had a lot of
on the Bayside.
On the Bayside.
Yeah, because usually you don't see that many Bayside, and then we've got villas at Bolivar.
Right.
And so they're going to start closing those towards the end of the year.
Okay.
And so we'll see that number probably come up a little bit if it goes down.
Yeah. So that just is a breakdown. So that gives people an idea if you're thinking about selling where you're at. Yeah.
Plus we've got the Pearl.
The Pearl, that's going to change things. Well, those numbers don't really affect because they're not showing up in regular houses. Like I don't pull in lots, I don't pull in condos into here. Those will show up as a condo, so those won't affect
We'll
these
have
numbers.
to make a new
slide.
You know, condos, because that's something new coming to Bolivar is condos.
I know people need to start thinking about that, and agents too. So when you're doing your searches, you need to click on that condo as well. So let's see. Okay, so this is my news slide.
Yeah.
So the statistics, and it's not showing up that well, I can see that. So what I did here was show you what things were selling for in 2019 to 2023. And the top number is the sales price, and the price per foot. The bottom number is the number of houses. So in this past month, and this was just for August of every year.
388.
388. And those numbers, they kind of went up still this year. Even though you're saying that they're going to drop. They went up this year.
Well, I'm talking 2024, the
Okay.
first quarter of 2024.
And the number of houses went up a little bit from 2022.
Look at the price per square foot, though, from 2019 at 223.
Oh,
a
I
square
know.
foot. And I can remember back then thinking, man, that's crazy.
That's
I
crazy.
Can't,
Yeah.
I can't believe that.
Yeah.
And then we're up at 388 a square foot.
And that's your average.
And that's not on top of what people actually paid in 2022 when we were in that buyer's frenzy. There were some 550 and 600. I think 650 a square foot, and so.
And you know, I don't know if I said this at the beginning, but we are averaging from the High Island to the ferry, from the beach to the bay. So these averages are inclusive of everything.
Bolivar Peninsula.
Yeah. So it's not saying that if you have a beachfront house, that's what it's going to sell for, because we need to do a deeper dive into that. This is just the average.
And that's where you come in.
Yes. Yeah. So anyway, so that's the end of the show right there.
Cool.
Cool.
Well,
You've heard David's prediction right here.
I'm
though,
saying
so
in 2024, the first quarter, and it'll start probably the end of this year, I think we're going to see some other houses come on the market, and I think the prices are going to drop a little bit. Don't quote me on that. Don't hold out. If you can find a good deal now, because now's the time to negotiate with the number of homes that we have on the market. Now's the time where your realtor can work for you, because they should do an in-depth dive into what's that house really worth.
Right.
You know, and make an offer accordingly.
Well, and you know, I've got buyers coming in still. So there's
You're
buyers.
still selling pretty good.
Yeah. So there's still a lot of buyers coming in here, and they're looking at high-end stuff. So if you're considering it and you have one of those houses, I need to know.
And I don't know all the realtors here, but you know, I've always said this about Beth is, you know, a lot of people have, whenever it slowed down, they were so busy for the last 3 years that they just said, man, I'm going to take a breather for 3 or 4 months. And you didn't, you know, and when all this started slowing down, I told Beth, man, let's just keep going and plugging at it, because people are still going to buy. You might just have to work harder. And we haven't stopped any shows. We haven't stopped anything. And you're selling houses. And I know that because when she goes next door to title work, she stops by here and drinks coffee or says hi. And so, or at least waves as she goes by. And that's the thing about Beth is, and it's a pain sometimes trying to get these shows recorded.
Oh, I know.
And I get mad.
You called
you
me
get
at 6 o'clock this morning.
You get frustrated, but it's something we want to make sure that if you're looking forward to it, that we don't push you off, because that's not how you are, and that's not how I am.
No, it's important.
And
so, we're workaholics, though.
And I'll say it again. I'm happy to say that you're the number one.
That could change today.
It could. So. But when we took it from January or February, was it February, through last month, up top. And that's because of what she does and the work she does. And she researches. And I think, and you don't take iPhone pictures. You hire photographers, you do the drone work, you do the
I love this new drone work I have done. I love that.
And, you know, I'm sure we're going to swing in some 360 stuff now that we've got our stuff going, but it's just what the realtor puts into it, the connection she has, the marketing, because every realtor needs to do their own marketing, and if they don't have a marketing plan or can't tell you what they're going to do to promote your house, then plus if it's not a local realtor, whether it's Beth, and we've said this with other realtors too, just use local because they know the area.
Yeah, it is helpful. And if you're working with an agent that's not local, I will help that agent as much as I can to get them through the project.
Yeah, because especially, doing different things down here. So
we all want to work together.
I'm not going to ask you how they can get hold of you, because you finally got your slide on the on the screen up there with the phone number. WeSellCrystalBeach.com. Are we going to have an opening pretty soon with the new office? How's it coming?
I was told yesterday that by the end of the week we'll know if we're ordering the final for next Thursday. That's fast.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's good.
So that's great news.
Anyway, we're going to head on out. We'll be back next Monday at 10:30 with another show, Real Estate Talk with Beth, where it's all real estate here on Bolivar Peninsula and nowhere else. Remember, you can see us on our social media channels, but the best way to see us is on YouTube at youtube.com/@BolivarLive. You can also find us on BolivarLiveTV.com, and you can download our free channel on Roku and Amazon Fire. Just look up Bolivar Live TV. I'm David with Bolivar Live with Beth Terminella from 110 Realty Group. Until next week, y'all have a great day, great week. Come see us. God bless, and bye-bye.
110 Realty Group on Bolivar Peninsula, located in Crystal Beach, Texas, believes finding the perfect home or property is a necessity for every client. That it's crucial to provide relevant, up-to-date information on the market, properties, and homes for sale to each and every seller or buyer. Keeping up with the market in today's world is how 110 Realty Group exceeds expectations for their clients. 110 Realty Group in Crystal Beach, Texas are your real estate sales professionals, both in beach home sales and property sales. Finding the perfect custom home on Bolivar Peninsula is a specialty of Beth Terminella and Leslie Armstrong. Keeping up with the daily changes and available homes, properties, and the changing market makes 110 Realty Group the choice for several custom builders for spec homes and investors looking for short-term rentals, along with home buyers looking for that perfect beach house for their family. 110 Realty Group for all your real estate needs on Bolivar Peninsula, in Galveston County, and across Texas.